What did Riley Keough just say about her feud with Priscilla Presley? Why did Lizzo lose over 220,000 followers? And why is Disney already looking into using AI? So as we know, Riley Keough's relationship with her grandmother Priscilla Presley has not exactly been on the best of terms since her mother's passing. The tragedy of Lisa Marie's death seemed to have hidden tensions in the family, and the battle for Graceland only made that worse. But now Riley's finally opened up about her complicated family dynamic in the September cover story for Vanity Fair. The profile came out on Tuesday this week, just 4 days after she was officially named the sole heir of Lisa Marie's estate and the owner of Graceland. Riley explained that when her mum passed away, there was a lot of chaos in every aspect of their lives. She said that it felt like the carpet had been ripped out and the floor had melted from underneath them, because everyone was in such a panic to understand how to move forward, and it just took a minute to understand the details of the situation, because it was complicated. She said, "We are a family, but there's also a huge business side of our family, so I think that there was a clarity that needed to be had." She explained that discussing her relationship with her grandmother could easily turn into a 20-minute conversation, but that she was trying to keep all her thoughts precise. Riley said, "There was a bit of upheaval after my mum died, but now everything's going to be how it was. Priscilla's a beautiful woman, and she was a huge part of creating my grandfather's legacy and Graceland. It's very important to her. He was the love of her life." As we know, Priscilla was married to Elvis Presley from 1967 to 1973. After his death in 1977, the couple's only daughter, Lisa Marie, inherited Graceland. But the property was always very special to Priscilla, and Riley clearly understands that. She said, "At the end of the day, all she wants is to love and protect Graceland and the Presley family and legacy. That's her whole life. So it's a big responsibility she has tried to take on. None of that stuff has ever really been a part of our relationship prior. She's just been my grandma. So sharing Graceland with the world was her idea from the start." Riley also reflected on her time spent at Graceland as a child. As a landmark, it was open to the public, apart from the second floor, which was the site of Elvis's fatal heart attack. As a little girl, she would sleep there overnight while the tours were going on in the morning. She said she would hide upstairs until they were over. In that same interview, she also revealed that she and Priscilla were able to find that clarity after a lengthy legal battle. When she was asked where they stand now, she claims that the family drama has subsided. So this is definitely a big change from where they used to be during this legal battle. Several months ago, it was reported that Priscilla had essentially been locked out of Graceland, since Riley decided to change the locks during a trip to Memphis. This whole thing started in 2016 when Lisa Marie amended her will and named her two eldest children, Riley and Benjamin, as co-executors. Sadly, when Benjamin took his own life in 2020, Riley became the sole executor of their mother's estate, which includes a 17,000 square feet Graceland mansion and a 15% stake in Elvis Presley Enterprises. But things got extremely messy when Lisa Marie passed away. Just weeks after her daughter's death, Priscilla asked a judge to invalidate the 2016 amendment that kicked her out of the trust and placed Riley in charge. She claimed that Lisa Marie's signature was forged because her name was misspelled and the signature looked different from her usual one. She also claimed that the document was never shown to her, which is something that was required by the express terms of the trust. Not only that, but Priscilla insisted that it was never witnessed or notarized, and that the date on it looked suspicious. So she was really pulling out all the stops to try and get the amendment invalidated, not just because it makes her granddaughter sole trustee, but also because it cut her out of any claim to Elvis's estate entirely. During this time, it was said that the two of them were barely speaking to each other. Riley was apparently shocked that her grandmother would even contest the amendment in the first place, and to make matters so much worse, Priscilla allowed Lisa Marie's ex-husband Michael Lockwood to attend the memorial, which shocked the rest of the family. A close friend of Lisa Marie then spoke out about the decision. They said Michael was not invited. He came to Memphis under the pretense that he had to chaperone the twins and then forced his way in with Priscilla's help. The last thing Lisa Marie would have wanted was for Michael to be there. But in the end, they finally got away from all this family drama and have now been able to put it all behind them. Alright, now the Lizzo situation has gotten completely out of hand. Her official Instagram account has lost nearly 220,000 followers since the harassment lawsuit was first made public. According to Social Blade, Lizzo has lost those Instagram followers in the days since the suit was filed on August 1st. Even before she responded to the claims on Thursday, she'd already lost nearly 170,000 followers. So that just goes to show you how quickly her fans have turned against her. Many of them did so before they even had a chance to hear her side of the story. To be fair, the allegations that we did know were incredibly serious. Three of her former backup dancers, Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noelle Rodriguez, all accused her of creating a hostile work environment and pressuring them to participate in sex shows. They claimed that they were made to touch a nude performer at an Amsterdam up during a tour party. Now, the attorney for the dancers said his firm was reviewing at least 6 more complaints against Lizzo from people who toured with her and worked with her on her reality show called Watch Out for the Big Girls. Ron Zambrano told NBC News that these new allegations were of a charged environment and a failure to pay employees. As for Lizzo, she's hit back at the allegations in a statement of her own. She dismissed the claims as unbelievable and outrageous and said that they are completely untrue. She insisted that her accusers had previously been warned about their inappropriate and unprofessional conduct. In a statement posted on Instagram, she wrote, "These last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character has been criticized. Usually I choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous not to be addressed." She went on to say, "As an artist, I have always been very passionate about what I do. I take my music and my performances seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. With passion comes hard work and high standards. Sometimes I have to make hard decisions, but it's never my intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable or like they aren't valued as an important part of the team." She insisted that she is not here to be looked at as a victim, but she also knows that she's not the villain that people and the media have portrayed her to be over the last few days. Lizzo also has some celebrity support, surprisingly coming from Grimes, who compared it to her own experience on tour and said that she had dancers who were mistreated on her watch in ways that she didn't find out about until later. She said, "But loyalty matters to me. Lizzo was kind to me and others for a decade before she was cool, and she checked in on me when no one cared. I've only ever seen exemplary behavior from her, especially when everyone was hating on me and she was at the top of the world. There was no reason for her to check in besides just to be a good person. Just my 2 cents. To those fans arguing that Lizzo was only nice to Grimes because she had some kind of power in the music industry, Grimes was quick to point out that Lizzo was nice to her way before Elon. She said this was in 2012 before anyone cared about either of them. Apparently she was friendly with her when she was cancelled, which is probably why she now wants to return that same kindness. But still, things are just not looking good for Lizzo at the moment. The latest sign of trouble is the cancellation of Jay-Z's Made in America festival in Philadelphia, which she was scheduled to headline. The long-running festival has been cancelled for 2023, and organizers announced it on Tuesday, explaining that it was all due to severe circumstances outside of production control. They said that this decision has been difficult and has not been made lightly nor without immense deliberation. While we don't know the exact reason it was cancelled, it's possible that the recent lawsuit was most likely not a positive element as the dates of the festival drew closer. Moving on, this next bit of news just gives us all the more reason to support the writers' strike. It's been reported that Walt Disney has created a task force to study AI and how it can be applied across their company. And yes, this is happening as Hollywood writers and actors battle to limit the industry's exploitation of that technology. It's been said that the group is looking to develop AI applications as well as form partnerships with startups. According to Insider, Disney has 11 current job openings specifically looking for people with expertise in AI or machine learning. These positions are in virtually every corner of the company, from Walt Disney Studios to their theme parks and engineering group. According to an inside source who spoke to the outlet, the idea is that these legacy media companies like Disney must either figure out AI or risk becoming obsolete. They see AI as a tool to help control the soaring costs of movie and TV production, which at this point can go up to around $300 million for a major film release like Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, or The Little Mermaid. And the issue with these big budget movies is that a lot of the time they are just way too risky, because they require equally massive box office returns just to break even. So by using AI, the theory is that cost savings would be realized over time. For Disney's parks business, it could also enhance customer support or create novel interactions. Not long ago, the company introduced something called Project Keough, which used machine learning techniques to create Baby Groot. This was a small, free-roaming robot that mimicked the same character from Guardians of the Galaxy, including their movements and their personality. Machine learning is a branch of AI that gives computers the ability to learn without being programmed, so it's able to recognize and navigate objects in its environment. Someday, these kinds of AI-powered characters will be interacting with guests at the park. And as incredible as that sounds, since technology has come very far, it's no wonder that a lot of performers view it as an existential threat to their jobs. The WGA strike marked 100 days this week with very little sign of progress. The contract talks have stalled, and people on the picket lines have said that studios are continuing to show a blatant disregard for their demands. There are a ton of issues on the table, including fair compensation, minimum staffing of writers' rooms, and residual payments in the streaming era. etc. Entertainment industry executives have also spoken out about the strike, like David Vaslov of Warner Brothers, who told investors last week that they are in some uncharted waters. He said that this current uncertainty could impact the timing of their film slate and their ability to produce and deliver content. The strike gained another level of support when actors represented by the SAG also took to the picket lines on July 14th, and this was the first time that both unions have gone on strike since 1960. The move effectively halted production of scripted TV shows and films, impacting businesses across the entertainment world. But the situation is still looking dire. A meeting last week with the studios resulted in almost no progress, and to add to that, no firm date was set for when everyone will be returning to the bargaining table, which means so far there's nothing but uncertainty. The good thing is that many big name stars have now been speaking out about the issue. Jamie Lee Curtis recently said that she's hopeful that the Actors Union and the AMPTP can find common ground. Mark Ruffalo encouraged fellow actors and writers to work together and stick to making independent films and shows. He said that while actors and screenwriters have made some great content, the business brains behind them created an empire of billionaires who believe that they are no longer of value. So either way you look at it, this strike is going to be a big turning point for everyone in the entertainment industry. What do you guys think about this latest story? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.